All right, hello, grade nines. How is everybody doing? Brendan, I see you in chat. Yeah, okay, let me answer those real quick. Okay, well, it's good that you're working on your other courses. Because of kind of like how everything has panned out, we haven't got to fully go into electricity, and I've decided not to have any assessments for electricity. Hey, Brandon, how's it going? Um, yeah, so the only note that you had to take so far, I guess, was the insulators and conductors lesson. Yesterday we talked about how electricity was generated. I think I forgot to put that PowerPoint up. I'll do that today. And today we're going to be looking at, well, how can we conserve energy given, well, what are some things we can do, or like, things we should kind of look into to conserve energy where possible so we get reduce our ecological impact. Okay, so why don't I start there first? Let me just go to our classroom here. Let's just share that. And let me post, did I post yesterday? No, I didn't post yesterday's lesson, so I'll create material. Yesterday we talked about energy production or energy production. Oh, what happened there? I noticed that if you change the whippy way your screen you're facing, it's spinning. Really, that's cool. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Let's see here. I don't know where that went. Okay, what was I gonna say? Power energy production. Let's add. Is it on my drive? Recent. Whoa. Yeah, it's here. There we go. I'm gonna add that in. I didn't put a note to it, so if you just want to like read into it, you can. Be my guest. Today's lesson is all about conserving energy. So I'll do one as well. Oh, let's put that in here. Come on. Material. Conserving energy. Okay. Add Google Drive. And well, today also, I guess, well, weirdly enough, is our last lesson. We won't have any formal lessons beyond today. You can always reach out to me by email, send me a message on Google Classroom, stuff like that. I'll be available till pretty much the end of semester. But today's our last class together. Kind of, yeah, it's a little bittersweet, huh? Okay, where are we at? Okay, conserving energy. That's the one I want to add. Okay, cool. Put that in electricity, post. All right. Yeah, it's been kind of cool, eh? You got to do some interesting things using, well, online learning tools, but I don't know. I still prefer a classroom. It's just, I think, more fun, face-to-face sort of thing. I'm kind of old school that way. Control J. Where is it? I thought I downloaded it. File, download, just so I can edit. Okay. So today, how can you conserve energy by doing maybe certain things? Um, let's have a look. Okay, so here are some of my tips and tricks about how you can conserve energy in our everyday lives. Okay, so conserving energy. It's gonna be a short lesson. Stick around. Just have a listen. Okay, so first tip: do it big. Hey Samson, how's it going? Do it big when it comes to these few things here. When you're washing your dishes, especially when you're doing it in a dishwasher, using your oven and laundry. Don't put like one cookie in the oven and then bake it. I mean, I'm sure the cookie will taste just as good. I'm doing okay, thanks, Samson. But you're wasting a lot of energy. Using a lot of energy, you might as well put it. You don't need to crowd the oven, but do more than one thing at a time. If you're, I don't know, cooking some chicken, maybe try to cook some potatoes on the side. Get more use of the energy you can, like, out of one single usage. So don't just throw in one towel in the dryer. Wait for the whole load to go in and then dry it all together. So wait for a full load when it comes to washing dishes, ovens, and laundry. When you're traveling, try to do groceries once a week. Not only will you save time, um, by not having to drive out to the grocery store maybe two, three, four times a week. Well, today's day and age, you want to minimize your contact with others as much as possible. Um, it saves you gas, it'll save you time, and the fact that you travel less, it will save energy. In the case for gasoline, and also for electricity, if you have like a electric car, a Tesla, something like that, you will save energy and time. Okay, next tip. Wherever possible, reuse and repair. A lot of people don't know. When you fix a device, let's say if you have a phone or a computer, tablet, desktop, maybe even a chair, whatever it is, a lot of energy is used in the manufacturing process. Why? Because, well, the materials have to be mined somewhere. They have to be collected from the ocean, for, let's say, oil. Then that material has to be refined. That takes a long time. Even before we start assembling, let's say, your cell phone, we have to mine the lithium, we have to mine the aluminum, we have to drill into the earth to get oil to extract the plastics that will be created, the rubber, the glass, things like that. And then once we have the materials, there's energy into putting all that stuff together. There's energy into putting that in a box, putting on a truck, delivering it to a store. All that energy can be saved if you can fix your own device. There's a lot of cool things on YouTube where you can learn how to fix your own devices, and you will be doing the earth a solid there. Same thing goes for updating your devices. Do you need to get the newest iPhone? I don't know. I would say, if your phone is laggy, sure, if a device is not usable anymore, of course, it's maybe time for an upgrade. Do you need every iteration? I'd say no. We can live with a little bit of discomfort here. You don't have to upgrade your device often. Upgrade it when you need to. So buy something new only when you need to. And that's a big kind of lesson for today also, is that use what you need to, don't go beyond, right? Um, I think you can also be proud of yourself if you do that. Okay, go direct or short. What do I mean by that? If Does anyone at home have long charging cables? I know I do, and I feel guilty for using them, but they're so convenient, right? Whenever possible, you want to use shorter wires. Here's why. When you have electricity traveling through a wire, sometimes it loses energy as it goes through. So you have to kind of what's it called? You have to use a lot more energy to push electrons through a long wire before it gets to your phone or your desktop to give it energy. If you have a short wire, it needs less energy. So essentially, like the electron is traveling through, if it bounces into lots of stuff, if it's a long kind of way to travel, it loses that energy. So we need more energy for longer cables. Apple does this on purpose. Yeah, I know. It's kind of that's a part of, like, I don't know, corporations, I guess. They're always looking for money, right? As much as possible, obviously we need phones for our modern living. So whenever possible, try not to upgrade. But if you have to upgrade, I guess you have to. And yeah, they got in trouble. It's called antitrust laws or anti-competitive laws, or even consumer protection. When a company like I don't know, a company makes a mug. There's a certain standards that's expected. Maybe the mug should last for 2 years. If all the mugs, let's say, that manufactured this one over here breaks it, like everyone has a mug that breaks that came from the same company, you can file a lawsuit and say, hey, we had a reasonable expectation that this should have been, the quality should have been here, but you intentionally made the quality bad, so we have to go back and buy more mugs. I think that's what the trouble Apple got into. Okay, what's next? We want to go direct to the source. If you're charging whenever possible, don't use batteries. Here's why. Batteries are convenient. If you go on a camping trip, you want to recharge your phone, I don't know, play music, whatever you need to charge with. Whenever possible, plug it directly into the wall. Why? There's always energy loss whenever you convert a form of energy. So we go if you go from your wall outlet directly to your phone. Let's say you lose 10 joules of energy. You lose a little bit. If you charge a battery bank, and then you charge your phone, you will lose 10 joules 2 times. Okay, not exactly 10 joules. You will lose some energy at every stage. So we want to go directly to the source whenever possible. Great content. Thanks. Leave a like, like, favorite, subscribe. Go to my Patreon. Like, I don't know. I don't have a Patreon. Should open one though. Okay, get a little bit uncomfortable. This is the next tip you can kind of do in your everyday lives. Whenever possible, try not to use the heating or AC in your house. You were gonna pay? Okay, yeah. Send me those numbers on your mom's credit card, and don't forget the 5 numbers in the back. 3 numbers. Okay, get a little uncomfortable. When you're at home, especially, okay, so this is the tip. You want to go cooler in the winter, warmer in the summer. Why? In the winter, why am I here? Okay, so in the winter, it's cold outside, right? Yeah. If your house is set to 19 degrees Celsius, your furnace doesn't have to work as hard to keep it as warm as, let's say, if I think most people would agree. I think 23 degrees C is actually way more comfortable. So in the winter, you want to set your thermostat to be lower, so your furnace doesn't have to work as hard to keep it at a higher temperature. True. The more, yeah, that's right. Brandon. Okay. So in winter, you want to set your house to be a little bit cooler. So, well, we know that you're going to lose the heat to the environment. So keeping it at a lower temperature will save you money. Well, one, and two, it will save you. It won't use as much energy. And you may be wondering, okay, so this will save mostly natural gas. In winter, most houses use gas furnaces because it's more efficient and it's cheaper than using electricity. However, you may be wondering, when we have blackouts, it's normally because it's hot. This is the sun now. This is summer. In summer, you want let your house to be a little bit warmer than it is normally. Maybe you'll set your thermostat to 25 degrees Celsius. But we know that, let's say, 20 degrees Celsius in summer is way cooler. It's more comfortable, right? So things we could do is like stuff like that. And the reason why why there are lots of blackouts in summer is because when the weather changes from colder weather to warm weather, everyone's turning on their ACs at the same time, and that uses electricity. Normally, these aren't true blackouts; they're what are called brownouts. Is when people are using more energy than power plants are giving out. So certain areas will be blocked out from getting energy. So people at the power plant or people at the hydro plant will have to turn up how much energy is going out. Anyways, so how we save energy using our thermostat: cooler in the winter, and warmer in the summer, so the house isn't working as hard to. Better than that, you know what? Use the environment. Whenever possible, on a cool night, don't use a fan, don't use the AC. Open your windows. If it's humid outside, whatever. If it's in the summer, use reflective shades. You want blinds that can reflect light in the summer. In the winter, you actually want to have don't open your windows, but you want your windows to be clear so the sunlight can warm the house passively. You want the environment to do the work for you. You don't want the house to work hard. The other thing you could do is, well, put on more layers in winter, right? In summer, it's kind of hard. Maybe you can get some water or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, true. Okay, wait. Something just happened. Give me a second here. Lagging a bit. Sorry. If you experience any buffering. Okay. Go efficient. And the last tip I have is go efficient when possible. You don't have to deal with this yet, probably. Most of your parents probably buy the appliances. I don't know any great nines are like, mom, I really want this dryer, this one dryer. It's so good. I don't think so. Yeah, okay, go into the basement too, right? It's cooler in the basement in summer. Chill out in the basement, spend some time there. Your house, you'll feel more comfortable, and you don't have to use that much energy. When you choose big appliances like TVs, dryers, washers, dishwashers, they'll come with this tag that's called Enter Guide. Ideally, you want your device to be as close to the left as possible. The left tells you the most efficient devices. So they all will do the same job. You buy one dryer, you buy another, they will all dry your clothes. But certain dryers may use more energy to do the same job. You want to be as efficient as possible. You want that little arrow, this arrow here, to point as far to the left as possible. So in this case, this device uses more energy per year, but for the job it does more work than this one over here that uses less energy per year. So as much as possible, get a device that is over here. Why might a person buy a device that's less efficient? Normally, well, it comes down to cost. Sometimes the more efficient devices has newer technology that makes it more efficient, but is more expensive because it's a new technology. So sometimes, when possible, if you can afford the device, that's more efficient, try it. If not, whatever, do what you can. We all do our own part where we can. And the same thing goes for light bulbs. New LED bulbs, when they first came out, they were like $20. Like this is about 15 years ago when LED light bulbs were the new thing. They were about $20 a light bulb. No one bought them. They are like the most efficient, but no one bought them because they were so expensive. Now they're pretty reasonable in price. People, I think, are definitely gravitating to more LED lights. You're seeing less and less of incandescent light bulbs because most of the energy becomes heat. We don't need light bulbs to give us heat. We need light bulbs to give us light. So the CFL, the compact fluorescent light bulb, is essentially the tube lights you see in like the classrooms and stuff like that. But when they manufacture the glass, they just spin it around, so it's easy to put into a socket and do stuff like that. Yeah, so whenever possible, try using LED. These are the most efficient, and in fact, they don't have harmful gases like the CFLs. But the CFLs are also very cheap, but they're efficient. Incandescent light bulbs, they use up a lot of energy because, well, they get very hot. If you ever touch an incandescent light bulb, you might burn your hand if it's been on for a while. A LED light and a CFL would also get warm, but not as hot. RGB lighting, sure, yeah. RGB lighting are mostly done with LEDs. If you're talking about computers or devices, those are pretty efficient. And obviously, it goes without saying, I didn't put slides in here, but if you're not using a device, put it off. Putting your computer to sleep, even for like 10 minutes, will save a little bit of energy. Now, obviously, it kind of sucks because here's the truth of it. A lot of the energy that we use in society is used by corporations. But that doesn't mean we're not responsible. These corporations are making devices that we are buying. So the only way to truly impact like the environment and stuff like that is the individual steps we take. The big part is, do your stuff at home. Turn off lights when you're not using them. Turn off devices when you're not using them. Unplug things if you're going on vacation. Stuff like that is good. But even better is not buying new items. Even though, the new iPhone is so cool. The new, I don't know, whatever it is. Even if it's new clothes. Those clothes require energy to be delivered to you and stuff like that. So, whatever. I'm off my pedestal. Can anyone in chat maybe describe some things they do that maybe saves energy or, is good for the environment? Anyone have any suggestions that you do or that that we could do? And I guess I'll just bring up chat real quick. Whoa. Michael says, Oh, wait. Why don't I just change scenes? Here we go. Suggestions from the chat. What can we do in our everyday lives? Using my PC every day probably isn't efficient. Yeah, or, if you need to use it, use it. Or maybe go to an alternative. Yep, we want to do slow charge when possible. Fast charging will give off more heat. Yeah, that's a good point. If you need to use your PC, use it. Or maybe if you're not gaming, turn your PC to a low power state. So maybe things go a little slower, but you're saving some energy there. When you're gaming, I know you want your best FPS. You want buttery smooth frames. But yeah, if you're not gaming, you can turn down your performance. Any other things? I didn't mention it, but taking public transport helps because you're moving more than just like 5 people at a time. Even though buses obviously need require more things like that. Get solar panels. Yeah, sure. Why not? Smash my phone using a sledgehammer when I am finished. Um, I don't know how that helps. Maybe if you don't buy a new phone, yeah, that might work. So then that's one less device on the grid. Sure. Good suggestion, Ali, with the solar panel. So maybe we make our own energy and use it versus relying on power production from, let's say, nuclear power, hydro. We make some of our own. Yeah, okay, good idea. Any other suggestions? Okay. I guess this is it, huh? This is the last. This will probably be our last live stream. I'll post some more material here and there on our classroom. We're done. Finish for those of you who haven't finished your ecological assignment. Hand that in. Once you're done that, we're finito. Um, I'll post some stuff to prepare you for grade 10 because we weren't able to finish everything, like I said. But hey, grade 10, okay, if you're worried about grade 10, the biggest thing will be chemistry, for sure. Get your chemistry down pat, because all that stuff you will need. Electricity, you might see again in grade 11, but they will review that for you. The only other part is maybe ecology, you'll see a little bit. You probably won't see astronomy again. You probably won't see electricity again. But it's important to do electricity because, in case you ever want to fix your own devices, it's good to know certain things we didn't cover, like Ohm's law. Anyways, I'll sign off here. Wish everyone a good afternoon. Uh, oh, I guess another maybe announcement here. I am moving schools, so I won't be at Bill Hogarth anymore. I will be at Bill Crothers. So long story short, I used to work at Bill Crothers for 2.5 years, um, and I got moved to Markville. Then I got moved to Hogarth, and now I'm going back to Crothers. Um, I'll miss you guys, but you have my email if you ever, I don't know, want to ask me a question. Why I like you as a teacher? I appreciate that, Samson. You guys were okay. uh, Another teacher moves. First one. Who's your math teacher, Brandon? Yeah, it's the teacher life though. We move around a lot. Well, yeah, Mr. Good. I haven't talked to him in a while. I hope he gets a permanent school because like I'm a permanent teacher. Um, Hopefully he gets a permanent school. Gets he's a good guy. Literally. All right. Send me emails if you have questions. I'll post some stuff over, the next week or so. Oh, we might have a day where you can call in case you're worried about marks. If you want to talk about how you're doing in the course, we'll have a day like that. We'll talk about it. Anyways, wish everyone a good afternoon. Cheers, everyone.